Job should not become a tragedy that आप सुबह उठते हो लगता है यार फिर से शुरू हो गया. Worldwide, and though this survey is more based out of US, maximum number of heart attack in the age bracket of 28 to 42, that age bracket, it happens on a Monday morning between 7 to 10:30.
Gen Zs are morely unhappy, so they are more like intense of emotions जो कि immediate होता है और immediate खत्म भी हो जाता है. So what would be your advice to the people who are struggling in job? Hi sir, welcome to the Open Talk Show.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Before I start all of the conversations, please tell me आपकी personal journey कैसे start हुई to make you feel happy? You realize that it is important.
Look, in the classical sense of word, I've been more of a corporate guy. In the sense, right now I work as a chief people officer in a global MNC, which basically means that I head the people function of the organization. And now it's been more than 2 decades of journey. I started off as a management trainee in an organization called Blue Dart, and then I had been in the insurance sector. I've been a banker.
So you have worked in different sector.
Yeah, different sectors.
Okay.
And now I'm into the consulting space.
Okay.
And this is called property consulting,
Okay.
Primarily property consulting.
Okay, so tell me when you make you feel like this is the important thing we should focus on. Also, we should make ourselves to be understood that.
Well, in my case, I think my trajectory has been very different in the sense I started more as a hardcore sales guy.
Okay.
Okay, and I derived a lot of satisfaction out of cracking deals, getting your sales done, and then as you moved up the ladder, I was in the banking sector doing more of what you call as typically sitting out of a country office doing program management of the business. And that's the point when, in my case, I realized that is that what I really want to do for my entire working life? And I had a fairly long working life ahead of me, next 20-25 years. Will that what will give me a lot of satisfaction? Is that where my passion comes in? So I got to answer very differently. In fact, it was a leadership workshop, where you do your visualization, how you want your future to look like. Typically that's the way many of this leadership workshop tries to give you an answer. And there somewhere I derived that people is something which always gave me energy. I was good at elocution in my college days. I was good at debating. And, somewhere what I'm doing currently had nothing to do with things which I always connected with.
Okay.
And that's where I got into the people function. I started, heading training and development, for the bank. I was lucky that I was given a chance. But that's where I derived a lot of passion out of. And that's when I moved into hardcore HR. I, tried doing my fellowship.
आप पहले सेल्स में थे फिर HR में आए.
हाँ जी.
How has happened? मतलब कैरियर में बहुत सारी चेंज.
वही बोल रहा हूँ मैं कि this is at some point of time I realized that my long-term passion lies with people. In fact, I still remember, and after that I went for another workshop. Try to get more clarity in terms of, is this the right path that I've taken?
Okay.
And I'm not too sure I should take the name or not, but there's this spiritual teacher. His name was Nitya Shanti.
Okay.
So he was he's XLRI graduate, and then he became a Buddhist monk, a wandering monk for almost 7-8 years, and had come back. And I was having, one of his sessions I was attending, and then a conversation started where I was trying to define along with him. It was more of a coaching that he was trying to give me to define how do I create my own essence of life.
Okay.
And what really came out of it is my true essence lies in connecting authentically with people. That gives me energy. And I realized this is the function where I will have an opportunity to connect authentically with people on an everyday basis, because that's what exactly this function is all about. And for example, if today you are, doing this talk show, somewhere interaction with people gives you some energy, right? Otherwise, why will you invest your time?
Correct.
Your money, your time is also money.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, because people, you love connecting with people, right?
Right.
So, for me also, that was a big opportunity, on a daily basis that I could connect with people, and you get handsomely paid for it while you do that. So, why not?
Okay. So what are the experience you had then आपके साथ personal life में आपको वो कैसे help करा?
I had a spiritual side to me always. I've been involved in art of living in my 20s. I have done various programs. I'll not say. So that side has always
मतलब
been.
एक आपने बोला कि life को जो you got to realize yourself in the first, right? Then you understand the importance of the happiness of.
देखो सिंपल सी बात है, ठीक है. एक चीज आपको समझना चाहिए. So if you are in the corporate world,
ठीक है.
okay, if you have decided that that's the journey you want to undertake, it is better that the work is your passion. Okay, if you are able to make your work your passion, or you get into an area which is your passion, that's the best thing that can happen.
I think is that work is a responsibility, and we can make it that a passion.
Work is a responsibility.
Yeah, correct.
There are various other responsibility which gets you need to. Your work will be helpful for you to meet, right from paying your bills to taking care of your family, to the various other needs, the luxury needs that you have.
Right.
So we all are living in a modern era, right?
What I mean to say here that why I'm saying that work is a responsibility, because I think our जो भी हम जॉब करते हैं, कोई भी जॉब करते हैं, तो उसमें हम इसलिए करते हैं कि उससे हमारा नीड है. नॉट स्पेशली काम की बात करें, जॉब इज़ कोई भी काम हो, दैट्स आवर जॉब. एक हाउसवाइफ भी एक जॉब करते हैं घर पे, एक जो कोई भी मैन जो ऑफिस जाता है या वोमेन जाते हैं, दैट्स ऑल्सो इज अ जॉब. सो देयर इज अ पार्ट ऑफ लाइफ, दैट्स आवर रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी वी हैव टू डू टू मेक अ लाइफ बेटर. Then come to the other point. Okay, there is a point, that is our responsibility sometime, make our inside, ourself, unhappy. Like, we don't want to do things, or we are doing things, but we are not happy. So, ये रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी और जो है ना, ये दोनों अब उसी जॉब को अगर हम पैशन में कन्वर्ट कराते हैं. सो माई क्वेश्चन इज दैट हाउ वी कैन डू दैट.
सो एज यू राइटली सेड, जॉब शुड नॉट बिकम अ ड्रेजरी दैट आप सुबह उठते हो लगता है यार फिर से शुरू हो गया और एक दिन शुरू हो रहा है. And there are very interesting facts and figures, I don't know if you're aware of or not. Worldwide, and though this survey is more based out of US, maximum number of heart attack in the age bracket of 28 to 42.
45 under, yeah.
That age bracket, it happens on a Monday morning between 7 to 10:30.
Really?
But why? Why do you think so?
This is I'm hearing for the first time.
Because most of these people, when they get up after the weekend and they need to go to their workplace, you are basically, you don't want to be there. And there's a tremendous amount of pressure from within that, I need to go to my workplace again. So you're basically stuck in a work which you don't want to do. Okay, you are absolutely disconnected with the workplace, and that gives you so much of stress. Okay, that probably you give up on a Monday morning. The Monday blues, in a very funny way, gets reflected in some of these facts and figures. Now, that's the reality of most people. Now, what you get to see is mostly, and I find it very interesting, people are well-dressed, are fully groomed, but in that well-dressed, the face tells you that they're all very
unhappy,
very stressed.
Okay, stressed.
You're well-dressed, but fully stressed. Okay, so is that really worth it?
No.
The point is that you can't be, and that's what you get to hear many a times when somebody hits middle age. Continuously you get to hear, I'm not enjoying my job, or I need to go back to my work. Typically Monday blues, all kinds of messages you'll find in WhatsApp, all kinds of, funny posts you'll find in social media, on Monday blues, and how people are looking back to TGIF, thank God it's Friday. But if you or if you are able to convert into a life where you can say, it's thank God it's Monday, I think that's the best thing that can happen. And that can only happen when, you can make your work your passion or be in an area which is your passion. Okay, there is no other way out.
Right.
Okay, so I think that element is very important.
So what is the, can you tell me what are the key point और जिसकी वजह से लोग stress feel करता है?
देखिए, specifically if you talk of India, and I'll probably take that example, I think this whole pressure of trying to prove themselves starts at a very early age from school. We have seen, a vast majority of India, when you are coming out of school, engineer bano, doctor bano, and that's the reason there is so much mushrooming of engineering colleges. And there is an artist in an individual. You want to become a singer. There is an aberration which is happening today. There is some change which is happening in some of the metro cities where parents are sending their kids for music and for art, for design. But a large majority, even today, it was there a lot more in our generation, but it is equally there even now, which is they want them to become an engineer or a doctor. Okay. Now the game starts there. And there is so much of pressure. And imagine, you take a subject, say mathematics or something, and you just don't enjoy doing it. And then your career also moves in a direction where on an everyday basis, you're dealing with numbers, whereas there is an artist in you, which is hidden. So on an everyday basis, you are basically getting into a work, which you have got because you have certain degree you have been able to earn, you can navigate that part.
Right.
But is that really giving you that satisfaction? Are you feeling connected with the work that you're doing? Are you deriving, some purpose out of it? For all you know, no. And that is probably where the gap starts and the anomaly happens. So the best thing that can happen always is if you are able to somewhere connect, your core area or your core, whether you call it qualities, competencies, skill sets, which is innate in you with the work that you do, passion automatically comes into place.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think that element is very important. Okay. And increasingly that is happening. For example, I can tell you about my own daughter. We never pushed her to get into, she chose a subject. She's studying design communication, visual communication in UK, okay, which is a very unknown area. But that's a choice that she has made. We have not made that choice. I think, and obviously it's a very uncharted path, specifically, in India. But that's the reality. Take that path where somewhere your heart lies. And somewhere deep inside, every individual has that answer to it. And most of us actually don't give in to the calling that we have because, there is a fear. और हिंदी में कहते हैं ना सबसे बड़ा रोग क्या कहेंगे लोग. ठीक है, so what will the society say, if I do this, if I leave this and get into another path. Okay, but I think those elements are very important. Okay, what is that which will give you satisfaction, which will make you feel fulfilled? I think that is very important.
Is there any easy way to find कोई एक एम्प्लॉय है, कोई भी हो सकता है, ओके, मान लो दे लाइक with family, they're not really happy with at home, at the office, so how can they find their own happiness?
So you again rightly said, said at work they're not happy, at
home as well,
at home as well. I personally believe that there has to be, if there is an anomaly or there's a lack of balance in one area of your life, it will affect the other area as well.
Okay. So, okay. I like that. Okay.
Yeah. So if there is, issues in your workplace, you're not happy, somewhere that lack of balance there will affect your personal relationships as well. Okay. And same is with your personal life. Okay. It is very rarely, you will see that, both are at imbalance and you're happy. And one of the areas is just not working and it's not affecting the other area of your life. Your personal life is in shambles and it is not affecting your work life, I mean, 99% of the times it will never happen.
Okay.
Okay. I think that's something which is very important to understand. You need to work on it. Okay. Whether it is the work that you have, the pointer here is there are various relationships. At the end of the day, zindagi aur kuch nahi hoti hai. You know, it is primarily how you are able to navigate various relationships.
Okay.
You know, 90% of when you are talking of job, a person, and there again, there are data, you know, they say that 68 to 70% of the people leave their job, not because of the organization or the work they're doing, but because of your manager or your boss. Okay, the people that you're working.
Correct.
Relationship gap, right? Similarly, you know, and will that affect your personal life? Of course it will. Okay, there is enough, you know, we are hearing enough around broken marriages, you know, things not working out, teenage children, you know, gap relationship with children. I mean, these are various relationships that you navigate on a daily basis in life. Okay, and how well you are able to navigate it is where your success lies. Okay, so relationships are very important, as you rightly said, and you need to work on all relationships. If you are not a relationships guy, and those are the things I think we need to really understand. In today's world, there are few competencies or few things which is very important. And one of the key area is your people-to-people connect. Okay, how well you are able to connect with people, whether it is your manager, whether it is your peers, whether it is your subordinates. At the same time, when we say people-to-people connect, we are also talking about how you're managing your relationships, you know, with your family, you know, with your, you know, with your social circle. You know, what exactly is the equity that you hold there. I think all those things are very important in life. Okay, and one need to understand and need to navigate it successfully to really live a more fulfilling life.
Okay, got it. So, what your advice here? Like, कोई अगर ऐसा है कि जो मैनेज नहीं कर पा रहा है, उनको क्या बोलेंगे आप?
एक तो देखिए, एक चीज तो है, the world is becoming more and more complex.
That, you know, upcoming, I think upcoming days would be bit more because, you know, because of the situation today. Okay, people are very scared about their job because of some AI. Okay, जो robotic चीज़ें आया है, वो काफ़ी ज़्यादा स्कैरी है और बहुत सारे जो ले ऑफ भी हो रहा है इसके कारण. ओके, सो एक फंडामेंटल है, पीपल आर स्कैर्ड. ओके, ऑल्सो सम द रिलेशनशिप विच इज़ नाउ डेज आर मोरली अनहैप्पी. इवन हु आर नॉट मैरिड, जो सिंगल है, उनके लिए पे भी एक अंदर से डर रहता है. ठीक है, तो वो डर को हम कैसे ख़त्म कर पाए, मतलब एक्सेप्ट कैसे करें हम इस दुनिया को, किस तरह से हम अच्छे से एक्सेप्ट कर पाए? What do you think?
So look, there is no clear answer and one need to work on it. Okay, and the fact is that firstly, it is important that you don't give the remote of your life, जिसे कहते हैं, to somebody else. Okay, I mean, if you get affected by, I'm just saying, you know, in a workplace by what your manager is saying, you know, what is the environment, तो आप तो रिमोट किसी के हाथ में पकड़ा ही दिया ना आपने, किसने मुझे क्या बोला, हाँ, is there an uncertainty? Yes, there are things which are will not happen as per your this thing, but you need to create those muscles where, you know, you accept people the way they are. I think that is very important. Don't allow the remote of your life to somebody else. Okay, and but is that easy? I mean, for example, and that's the reason probably, you know, there are other interests. I mean, for example, I spoke about spiritualism, right? That's an area that I think that has worked for me. Okay. I mean, there is, I mean, for example, if I look at this year, there is not a single day where I have not given around 45 minutes every morning into my yoga. But that time that I spend for me gives me a lot of clarity. Okay. So everybody has their own practice. I think it is important that you...
So it means exercise or yoga?
Whatever, you know, whoever has whatever practice. But the point is that you need to somewhere ensure that you are in that mental space where you don't get affected, you know, by at least by people around. कई चीजें तो आप change कर नहीं सकते. You know, the world has seen a lot in last few years. COVID, okay, I mean, things which we never thought will ever happen. You know,
I think after COVID there is so many changes happen.
And that is why, as they say that one of the key, आपने पूछा ना कि what are the key, one of the key things that is needed today. Of course, technology is changing. There is enough, we all know about AI, about machine learning, about, how big data is a big area. But from an individual perspective, from a competency perspective, I think resilience is very important. COVID ने अगर एक चीज़ सिखाया है हमें, that is resilience. Okay, the world has shown a lot of resilience. And as we move in the future, in this changing world, how much you're able to absorb, that power of resilience will be very, very important. Okay, and you need to develop, and that will only happen when, you are working on your wellness, your mental wellness. Okay, that element is very important, and that will create or give you that ability, to be more resilient in this changing world. Okay, I mean, people who are giving up, okay, I mean, there is living it all, it is not easy. I mean, it's when we talk about spiritualism, as they say, when you are there in the middle of work, middle of your family, navigating various aspects of your life, I think that is, is the real sadhana, that they say, and not sitting all alone in somewhere in Himalayas and, doing a meditation. वो बहुत आसान है वो जिंदगी. But लोगों के बीच में, काम के बीच में सक्सेसफुल होते हुए आप जब उसी शांति के साथ आप काम कर पा रहे हो, I think that is where the essence of a successful life lies. Okay.
Can you tell me what are the key points जो चीज़ हमें happiness ज़्यादा दिला सकता है?
Look, happiness is actually a very natural state. ठीक है?
नहीं, for me,
I'm telling you why. Okay, चीज को अगर आप deeply अगर एक चीज को देखते हो, ऐसा कभी नहीं होता है कि आपने, अगर आपको हेडेक होता है, ठीक है, अगर माइग्रेन पे ये हो रहा है आपको, तो you want a medicine because you want to do away with it, right?
Correct.
Because वो आपका natural चीज नहीं है. You don't want to experience it. But if you're getting happiness, it's something which you believe is naturally should be there with you. You will not ask, यार ये happiness क्यों हो रहा है? यार कोई दवाई लेके यार, this is not my normal. Though you're not happy all the time. Okay, so firstly we need to be very clear about it, that unlike various other state, which is, and that's the reason I just took an example of headache. You will take a medicine, you like the headache to go, but you will never like happiness to go, right? When happiness comes, I mean, that's my natural, that's my best state to be in. So it's so natural to be human being. Firstly, we need to understand that. हम उससे आज के ज़माने में, if everybody we are talking of happiness, there is talks around happiness, how to keep your workforce happy, how to stay a more happy and fulfilling life. यही तो बातचीत होती रहती है ना. There is enough book which has been written. There is enough talks which are happening around it. There is enough conversations around it. So there's so much. There are happiness quotient measurement which is going on individuals and this thing. But the pointer is that it's a natural state, and the more and more you do away with your unnatural elements which is affecting your life, you will lead a lot more normal, natural life, which is what your happy life is all about.
I think, I believe that there is a happiness, find a happiness in 3 ways. That is, one of the ways of faith. Okay.
One of the ways is?
Faith.
Okay.
Faith can give you hope, and that hope become, you make yourself feel better. Another, like what you are doing, you should enjoy, and you have to understand why you're doing that. So your work, okay, and you have to understand that. Once you understand, you will take positively, and that positive way will be make you feel calm. That's my work, and I have to acceptance, जिसको हम बोलते हैं, faith, acceptance. And third thing, I would say, human relationship. The people around you meet, the family, okay, those people. अगर ये सारी चीज़ें ये तीनों चीज़ें होता है आपके पास, you become yourself become a calm, you feel happy around the people circle you have. Okay, the human relation obviously with the good people जिसके साथ आपको time spend करना पसंद है. So those kind of people. और faith एक ऐसी चीज़ है जिसमें आपको हमेशा एक रिलीफ देता है मेडिटेशन की तरह, जो आपको बिलीव कराता है कि यू विल बी ओके, एंड आई बिलीव इन दैट. Okay, sir, I have noticed one thing that जो स्पेशली जेन जी है, प्रेजेंट जनरेशन है, समटाइम और अभी कुछ ऐसे भी न्यूज़ आया है जो जेनजीज को, यू नो, जेनजीज आर मोरली फील अनहैप्पी विथ, मतलब लॉट ऑफ, अगर किसी कंपनी में जाता है, अगर उसको पसंद नहीं करेगा वो भाग जाएगा. इस तरह के बहुत सारी चीज़ें होता है. सो दे आर मोर लाइक, यू नो, इंटेंस ऑफ इमोशंस, जो कि इमीडिएट होता है और इमीडिएट ख़त्म भी हो जाता है. एंड दे आर वेरी लाइक, यू नो, दे कान अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट्स लाइक एक्चुअली लाइफ इज़. एंड कहीं ना कहीं उनकी कैरियर पे भी ये प्रॉब्लमेटिक होते हैं उनके लिए. सो नाउ आई वांट टू हियर हाउ दे वांट टू सी देयर लाइफ.
So I think, you know, as you rightly said, Gen Z, there are various talks going on around them. They don't stick with the organization.
Correct.
You know, they are not serious. They want more flexibility. They look at life very differently. But the amount of things that they have seen, if you really ask me, in last few years, is unimaginable. You know, they have seen a pandemic. Okay, they have seen work from home used to be there, but it was there in some form or the other. Today it's a norm. Okay,
Right.
Remote working has emerged as a key area. So there's a lot of changes which has also happened, and obviously the Gen Z's thought process is also driven by
Different, because
a lot of those things which has happened
because they
around
got
them.
everything organized, most of the case. Only I think one of the reason, like if I get, you know, my childhood, if I get everything organized, my expectation on it would be different in my future. Okay, please.
So, but I think for this generation, one of the things we need to really understand is, unlike the previous generation, you know, we all are talking about AI and all of it. What is it all about? I mean, the things that are changing. So they need to probably reinvent themselves, whatever is the education, at least 3 to 4 times in their lifetime. In fact, you know, one of the things that I talk of is the 3 R's, okay, that the current generation, Gen Z, need to constantly follow, or, you know, the 3 R's, this thing is, you know, constant reimagination, rework, and reignite. Now, what does it actually mean is, constantly in this changing world, they need to constantly reimagine or visualize what is that they want to get out of life. You know, if you want to really navigate this generation, if they want to navigate and create a success of their life, that power of imagination is something which is very important. And constantly they need to do that, you know, with their own life as well as the work that they're doing. They need to rework on themselves. They need to constantly create new.
But they don't do that, because
No, they don't. But
okay.
that's the only formula which is there, you know, for this, in this changing world. They need to rework. You know, they need to bring in more technology. I mean, if you want to succeed, I mean, for example, if you have a talk show today, what is, even the technology around it is going to change very soon. Okay, there's a lot of changes which is happening around us, right? So you need to constantly be reworking to success, to be a success. And finally, when I say rekindle, is basically rekindling a completely new life for yourself, or a new avatar for yourself, because the way things are changing, आपको अपने आप को rediscover करना ही होगा, at least 3 to 4 times in this lifetime. So that is what is making things more complex for them. One is that disconnect. You know, they want more flexibility. You know, they are looking at, they don't want to be don't want to see too much of enforcement, you know, too much of structure. You know, that's one thing. The other is the changing world. They want to, at the end of the day, you also demand a lot out of life, right? You want certain luxuries to happen. You look at life very differently. अब वो सब चीज़ें तभी आएंगी जब आप constantly अपने आप पे काम कर रहे हो और अपने आप को rediscover कर रहे हो. And that is very important in the current generation.
Okay. What are the key advice you would have for them?
Look, I think one of the key advice will be adaptability. Okay, I think to be really successful for the current generation.
How do you define successful?
Look, again, success has different parameters. For me, success is very different. You know, success is...
Tell me about you.
Yeah, for me, it's a peace of mind.
Interesting, okay. Yeah.
For me, it's very important that I find meaning in the work that I do. Okay. Money is not that important for me. A lot of people it is.
I about to ask this question.
Yeah. So, for example, one of the things that I've worked on is I've really reduced the number of, and it happened post-COVID. And in COVID, I mean, the number of clothes that I have. Okay. I mean, possessions, as you call.
You
okay?
say
I mean,
that money is not important. Can you tell me why money is not important?
money is important, but it is how much, that whole struggle of more and more and more. I think that is the element where all the problem crops up. I mean, for example, you go to if we all are living this, Gurgaon, one of the Millennium City or whatever you call it. I mean, the amount of people are having three luxury cars. You really don't know. You don't even drive for more than 10,000 kilometers. Okay, I mean, in 3 years. Yet you are adding more and more of luxuries in your life. Okay, I mean, there is that constant, want for more. Okay, I mean, I think somewhere that creates more stress than anything else. I think when I talk of money, I talk of, some of these elements that people are constantly, trying to strive for. I mean, go to the whole consumerism culture if you really look at it. I mean, go to any mall at any given day today, post-COVID. In fact, last 6 months, the footfalls have increased many fold because you're constantly seeing, that need of consumerism is all about buying more and more and more, right? So somewhere that whole cycle of more is where the problem lies. To me, I think my work that I'm personally doing is cutting my relationship with the more element.
Okay.
I think that's something. It's really a work in progress. It's not easy. If you are working with the MNC, you are living in the middle of today's world. It's never easy, but it's a good area to make it as a work in progress.
Okay. You told me that you're doing part of the HR team, right?
Yeah.
You're leading HR. So what would be your advice to the people who are struggling in job?
Well, struggling in job is very individual driven.
Like who are getting hard to get a job, getting multiple of rejection.
Look, I think it is very important for an individual. There are areas, for example, gig economy. Okay, I think it has the Zomatos and the Swiggies of the world has given job to a lot of people.
Correct.
Okay, which was.
But not those people like who are.
No, that's what I'm saying. But what would these guys would have been? Those people would have been doing otherwise. Okay, I mean that's the whole. That's the anomaly today. Driving a Uber. The fact remains, a good Uber driver can actually earn close to $1 lakh in a month. Okay, that's the reality. Okay, the point is now this gig economy has given more and more options. When you talk of jobs, these are all jobs, right? These are all various ways and means of earning your livelihood, and these are all running families today. Okay, so the point is that if you strive, and then there is this whole technology sector. Okay, India is a conglomerate, where it's a country today where anything which is new age is visible in India.
Do you know that every year at more than 10 million of people, the children are becoming graduate, multiple sector में graduate हो रहे हैं. Okay, and those 10 million से सिर्फ आगे जो बढ़ते हैं ना 50% भी नहीं होते हैं, मतलब आगे की education complete करता है. Meanwhile, the 5 million student, they become a graduate, they are just looking for a job. Okay, so now the India have today, it's hard because we are not creating that much of job, but our parents, our family, our parents is told us to get the education, you will get a job. So what I mean to say, there is a one other things that is we should think of to creating a business, okay, for them. और जो जॉब ढूंढते हैं, I was asking, talking about this because I feel people should understand you should take a chance, okay, to get a job, एंड जब जॉब की बात है तो जॉब तो मिल जाएगी आपको, फिर उसके बाद की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी एंड एनी अदर थिंग्स, इट वुड बी समटाइम इट वुड बी हार्ड, यू कैन मे बी. सो व्हाट आई वांट टू से दैट जो इतने लोग होता है, ये जो इतना वैरायटी आता है हर साल, इनके साथ बहुत सारे चैलेंजेस आता है, यू नो दैट राइट. बिकॉज ऑफ आई आस्क द क्वेश्चन अर्लियर बिकॉज ओनली द पर्पज कि उन दोज पीपल को बहुत अभी चैलेंजेस हो रहा है. दे आर एजुकेटेड ग्रेजुएट, ओके, अब वो तो यार वो काम नहीं कर सकता ना कि डिलीवरी का काम करे, हालांकि अभी कर रहा है, ठीक है, पर नहीं कर सकते. तो मैं बस ये आपसे एक चीज़ जानना चाह रहा हूँ कि ऐसे जो स्टूडेंट्स हैं जो निकल रहे हैं हर साल, सो उनके लिए एज अ HR आप क्या कहना चाहोगे? भाई आप एक कहते स्किल में काम करो, या तो आप जो कर रहे हो या तो जॉब ढूंढने में इस पर्टिकुलर चीज़ को फॉलो करो, ठीक है, या आप बिजनेस पे ध्यान दो. व्हाट शुड दे फॉलो, द यंग जनरेशन?
Okay, I mean, for example, so many times you use the word job. Okay.
Obviously. Actually, main problem यही है. मैं बस समझने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ.
I'm just saying, okay, so that's the reality of India. हर वक्त दिमाग में घूम रहा है जॉब जॉब जॉब. Okay, आप कुछ भी करो. And but the moment you start looking at even in the work that you're doing, पहली बात तो ये work है, जॉब नहीं. The moment आप अपने वर्क को ना एक जॉब की तरह लोगे तो वो जॉब ही बन के रह जाएगा.
Okay.
ठीक है. So even if I think if you're working in an organization, in a corporate environment, whatever it is, okay, किसी के लिए काम कर रहे हो, ठीक है, बेसिकली तो यही है ना. आप जो बिजनेस की बात करो, मतलब अपने लिए काम कर रहे हो या किसी और के लिए काम कर रहे हो. किसी के लिए जब काम कर रहे हो, वो MNC भी हो सकता है, ठीक है, वो कोई इंडियन कंपनी भी हो सकती है, ठीक है, इट कैन बी any enterprise of any nature, right?
Okay.
Now the point is that I think the best beauty of working for somebody but thinking like an entrepreneur,
okay,
is the best combination that one can have. पैसा किसी और का है, somebody else's money which you are working on, but thinking like an entrepreneur and trying to create something for the betterment of the world for somebody else or whatever it is. Okay, I think that's the best space to be in today. Okay, I mean, for example, recently, as you said, I was talking to somebody who heads HR and has joined a new firm. If you have heard of there's this whole industry which is called high frequency trading,
okay,
HFT. And there are quite a few. In fact, Gurgaon is emerging as one of the key hubs there, where the starting salary is around 1.5-2 crores.
Really?
Yes. So they typically are looking for, obviously the criteria is also that mostly people from IIT.
The same thing.
He was mentioning one of the eligibility criteria that they write is that they should have been in the top 50 in the IIT JEE entrance exam. Okay, I mean, that's the kind of type. The pointer is, most of this, apparently, people who are getting into these jobs are not getting into the jobs because what they have done during their BTech or engineering. They start preparing from second year onwards, targeting these jobs where they are upgrading their knowledge on AI, they're upgrading their knowledge on the on the technology side, so that they are future ready for grabbing some of these opportunities. Okay. So what I'm trying to say is that it is how you are able to use your own ability or capability or competency or skill set that you have.
Interesting.
Okay, I mean, if everybody is not an IITian, right? Everybody is not good with numbers. Everybody might not have the analytical skill. But the area that you have chosen for yourself, you can do a similar work in that area and try to see how do you create your own place and your own learning. Today, there is no dearth of virtual learning platforms. Are you investing on yourself? 99% of 100% of 99.9% of individuals, आप अपनी गाड़ी का इंश्योरेंस कराते हो ना, ठीक है? And then what you also do is every 6 months you do servicing of your car, right? There's nobody who doesn't do it. Every 6 months you'll go and service. But do you do that for yourself? आप अपनी सर्विसिंग कराते हो?
नहीं.
Which is basically investing on yourself, Okay, doing some work, upgrading, get a certification done, upgrading yourself, and getting ready for, a
Next.
better world,
Yeah.
or next is whatever you call it, right? अपनी सर्विसिंग कोई नहीं कराता है, ठीक है? It's very simple, fundamental.
I got that.
Okay.
It's very interesting
And
to understand this.
So that investing on yourself is very important in today's world, which is what most inertia आप कहो, आप laziness बोलो, बातें सब करते हैं, सोचते सब है, बट अपने आप पे काम करने को कोई तैयार नहीं है, अपने आप पे इन्वेस्ट करने को कोई तैयार नहीं है. मगर आप अगर बाइक भी खरीदते हो, उसको भी आप सर्विसिंग पे खर्चा जरूर करते हो, 3-4 हज़ार रुपये तो लग ही जाते हैं, राइट? सो दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट.
Got it. Is there any advice you receive or you?
I received.
Yeah.
चाह गई चिंता मिटी, मनवा बेपरवाह, जिसे कछु नहीं चाहिए, वही शहनशाह.
क्या बात है. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you very much
for sharing your words.
Thank you.
Thank you.